Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Beyond the Label podcast. I'm Leanne, your host, and today I am with my guest here, Gianne.
Hi, my name is Gianne. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, we've been talking about this episode for the longest time. So Gianne is an entrepreneur and content creator, and she does so many things. So can you tell us a little bit about the things that you do?
Yeah, because a lot of people, when they first met me, they asked me what I do, and I would say, oh, I wear quite different hats. You may know me from the first company that I started. It's called Camden Co. I was selling CBD at the beginning. So now it has pivoted to a health and wellness community. And last year, I also started my marketing agency called Lexi Media. At the beginning, I was a role model, and then I joined to become part of the board committee, and then I was helping corporate partnerships, liaisons, and helping with events. Yeah.
That is a lot of different things.
Yeah, that is quite a lot of different things.
Yeah, and when I first met you, you were still doing Camden Co.
Yeah.
And I want to just jump right in and ask you about that company specifically, because I know that it does, it did CBD products and then it got banned in Hong Kong. So how was that? And because it was like a government decision. It wasn't it was actually something external pushing you out of the business.
So I started the company right before COVID. At that time, I was actually also suffering from 10 years of depression and anxiety. And the one thing that troubles me a lot is I can't sleep at all. So when I was traveling in the States, I found something called CBD. At that time, it wasn't quite so popular. And then I brought it back to Hong Kong. So for a year, the business was really great because when I brought it back to Hong Kong is right where COVID started. So a lot of people were stressed, they can't sleep, and they really needed something to help them. And CBD was helping them quite a lot. And then just for a year. Last year, January, at that time, I was at the point where I think I don't want to continue on my full-time day job. At that time, I still have a 9 to 5. So I resigned, and same month, it just happened that the government suddenly announced that they wanted to regulate the industry. So I can no longer sell CBD in Hong Kong. It was just bad news happening in the same month, and at that time, I was like, oh, I don't have a job, I don't have a product to sell, what am I gonna do, right? But I think it's lucky how I cope with the situation. I did had weeks of period where I feel it's like a breakup. Looking at the products, all the designs, they're kind of like my baby because I'm the brand ambassador of the whole brand, and it relates a lot to my own personal story, and it is hard, but at the same time, lucky how I cope with it is that I started a community group on WhatsApp. So basically, I added all the people that I know had a business in CBD. So all the previous competitors, I would say, I just personally reached out to them and said, hi, I know you also have a CBD business, and I know government is trying to regulate the industry. I have a group. We are going to exchange information, news about the industry which you want to join, and it happens 3 days. I have over 60 owners joining the group. So everyone's just talking about the news and asking, okay, so are they banning or not? Because they haven't regulated yet at that point. It was just a lot of raiding. The police were saying that they raided some stores and they have CBD and THC, blah blah blah. I'm not so sure. Maybe they wanted us to be aware that they wanted to regulate.
Right,
so when we noticed that, we're like, okay, I think this is
happening.
Yeah, happening. We have to let go. So at that time, we had that group, and it's just out of luck that I met a lot of interesting people in the group. So basically, I met a friend, and he just told me Gianne, you know what? I think your brand is quite special among the other brand because mine is linked to a personal story, and it's easier for the brand to pivot if it has a story. And he just gave me a lot of boosting my confidence, telling me, Gianne, don't give up. And basically at that time, he gave me a word of support and also told me he is interested in investing if I have any plans for pivoting comp.
Oh, wow.
And so in the same year, I met him, and that's why we pivoted the brand into selling vitamin patches. And that has been for a year as well. But today I do have something interesting for my brand to share to you.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so I haven't been telling this to anyone, but basically whenever people asking me, oh, how is Camden Co doing? I was like, okay, after the ban, it has been doing quite good. We have been pivoting the brand, selling different things. But this year I just, had a thought, and I feel like for Camden Co it's always the why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And the why is that I've healed from my 10 years of depression, and I wanted people to talk about mental health more.
Yeah.
By selling products, of course, I've been spreading a lot of messages, but it's not directly helping them. It's like, okay, you can't sleep, so this can help you sleep, this can help you with stress. But behind all this, there must be more that I can do. And for years, I've been doing like different events. I have been doing beach cleaning with yoga, like different kind of experience that people can try to see if they can find their calmness within. Because sometimes people said they can't.
I love
They
that.
just can't meditate. When they close their eyes, they have a lot of thoughts going in their minds. So I was trying to do like different experiences to see if people can find calm in doing different things. And so this year, we've officially closed down the business, and then we're registering for NGO, and we're also trying to register for a charity.
Wow.
So basically, we want to focus on mental health education in Hong Kong. And basically, from this point moving forward, we'll try to do more charity work, and we will no longer be selling any products under Camden Co. So this is a new direction for Camden.
Wow, so exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting for me. It's quite a big decision for us, me and my partner, because me and my partner founded Camden Co together 2 years ago. And then when at the point we decided to pivot, and then at a point we also talked about, okay, is this really what we're gonna do? Like selling products, different products? No. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, you share so much. And what was going in your mind, like going through all this, like starting a company, getting banned by it, and making such a big decision to completely go full like NGO, and not just spreading the word, but you're actually doing the action to make the change within like mental health awareness and actually helping people.
I feel like Camden Co is a journey for myself to discover self-healing, because at that time when I just brought CBD to Hong Kong and started the brand, I was still severely suffering from depression. At that time, I was, advocating self-love online, but I was, creating the post 3 a.m. at night. I don't have any work-life balance because at that time I was juggling between day job and Camden Co.
Yeah.
I would say the first year of starting the business, my mental is doing the worst at that year, because I was trying so hard to push the brand. At the same time, I did not take care of myself at all. At the point around 9 months, my business is doing really good, but at the same time, I just feel like, what am I doing? Like, I'm earning money, but I don't have time to enjoy the money or enjoy life at all. I was basically dedicating my whole effort, time, passion into the business. And the point is, I thought I would be enjoying the outcome. I thought I would be happy for myself to reach the milestones, but no, I wasn't celebrating anything at all. I keep wanting to seek for more. I wanted more recognition. I wanted more validation.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was really frustrated and burned out. I just told myself that I need to stop and take care of myself first, because or else I would no longer be able to continue to give on Camden Co. So at that time, I started to really look into myself, stop for a while on Camden Co, and just take care of my own body. And at that time, it's really this time where I started to learn yoga and meditate and journaling, and it has been 2 years now. And I would want to share a lot more, let's say, on journaling. That notebook, I can show you later. The first page, I actually wrote my depression's diary, something like that. And the first 10 to 20 pages is all like when I'm frustrated, I write crazy raging. It's basically me swearing a lot on the pages, trying to express my feelings. And I think months after, I can see a lot of changes on the words that I put into the journal. Slowly, I started to write more things that I have gratitude or I'm thankful about. So sometimes at the end of the day, I would just write 10 things I'm thankful about that happened in today.
Yeah.
But before, that journaling was simply for me to write things that I'm angry about or things that I am struggling with. And when I change the point of view, I only write down the things that make me happy about. The whole journal just changed. And then it just shifted to things that I want to manifest. And then I see things that I actually manifested through the things that I wrote. Like, let's say I wanted to have kittens. I wanted my cat to have like companions, and now she has her own babies. Basically, how I shifted my mindset into a more positive way, I see changes. So yeah, I think Kant has helped me to go through stages of life where I think I need to fix something internally, or else I won't be able to help anyone that I want to help.
That is so powerful. Oh my gosh. I resonate so much. I know this sounds so strange, when you talk about like how you view yourself, and people start to like view you the way in your own perspective, right? Yeah, and things will just flow.
They feel your energy, they feel your vibration. Yeah, I feel the same with you actually. Like the vibration, it's affecting me and it's uplifting my energy as well.
It's like when two people like start talking, and then there's like endless conversations and there's so many ideas, and it doesn't happen with everyone. Like, it's actually quite rare, I feel.
Yeah, I think in this industry you meet a lot of people, I meet a lot of different people, but it's just the energy here is like, I feel safe. I feel like, Leanne, I don't meet you quite a lot outside. I think this is just the second time that we sit down face to face talking to each other. The first time we were at a coffee shop. But I don't feel any awkwardness or weirdness in between. I feel like we're friends for a long time.
Exactly. So, it's just so comfortable. No, I feel that 100%. Like, with some people, like, you just feel this kind of like synergy and just so comfortable. But going back to like your mental health journey, because I personally also resonate so much with that part. I know you just now you mentioned, like going through learning meditation and yoga and all these tools that helped you. But I know there's so much more. I know like every day would be a struggle. I went through this personally too. And like, how was that for you? And especially you were doing your business, like you were people facing. Like you had to put up a front to show people that like, oh yeah, self-care, but then like you were also struggling deep down.
I think it was quite a long journey for me to really actually find the right way to help me through all of this. I would say I neglected my mental health for 10 years. During that 10 years, when people ask me, how do you cope with it? I would say I never cope with it because I never thought like it was actually troubling me or it was actually affecting me anything, but it was affecting how I make decisions. I'm not sure if you know, but I've went to 3 different universities, from one major to another because I wasn't happy. But I did not know that I wasn't happy not because of the environment. It's because I'm not happy. I'm just not happy. And I neglected the fact that mental health is important until I met my partner. He is a very compassionate person and he is very observant. So when we were together, he already noticed that I have had different traumas that are still affecting me until now. Let's say loneliness was something that I've, have always been dealing with, and I've always been avoiding to be alone. Whenever I'm alone, I don't eat, I don't like to go out because I don't want to be seen alone. And that was because I was bullied when I was in high school. And it's something that I need to face. These kind of things that traumatize me up till now. And it wasn't a point where my partner point this out that this is weird or this is a problem that you have to face. He basically helped me through a lot of these self-discovery journeys because he has been with me every day since we're together. I used to be quite a needy person because of my past. I would tell my partner to be with me because I don't want to be lonely. Thanks to having like a real conversation, I know what I really need and what I really need to do so that my partner can also, have his life, right? Because he can't be with me 24/7. So a lot of self-discovery journeys and a lot of course, it's not easy. When you hear me saying this, it took me quite a while to accept that, okay, something has to change because I've been living like this for 19, 20 years of my life. I've always had someone next to me. And so when he at a point tell me, okay, Gianne, sometimes we do have to grow up and we do have to accept changes. And he told me in a way that he thought I would accept. But when I hear that, I was like, so you don't want to see me every day, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to tell me? So the conversation didn't like start really well, but I'm thankful that okay, now I've learned communication is a two-way thing.
Yeah.
After he told me something, it also depends on how I see this and how I react to it. When I was younger, I would say I react to these kind of communications quite badly. I would just be angry or I would just be sad right from the point you tell me to change something.
Yeah.
But now I see change as something that is good for me because I've been changing and I've been doing good, and I see that all the changes are positive. Before, when I look at changes, I always see like, I gotta work on something. I'm so bad. I'm such a bad person. But now it's like, again, it's like positive mindset and completely change. When I see things I need to change, I was like, oh, good. I have something to work on now.
Yeah.
It's so different, but I think it's just different. When you see things differently, you know that these things help you to be happy and you want yourself to be happy, and you are more likely to see things in a different perspective.
I've like so much to take in. I'm like processing everything right now. Most times, honestly, when I try to have an honest conversation with someone, and vice versa too, the first thing we do is to be no, I'm not like that. Or are you trying to say that I'm annoying, or like
I know.
that? Because even when I was I think when I was with like my first few boyfriends, I always cry first so that they would stop the conversation and comfort me.
Yeah, I do get that. Like when you show vulnerability, then probably that person will stop asking you to change, or that's what I was thinking too. But I think it was for a year. Like he had been taking this for a year, that I have been being, such a bad-tempered girlfriend. I'll be always throwing different tantrums whenever he's not doing the things that I want him to do. And for a year, he had just been obeying, I would say, whatever you want, princess. But then after a year, I think he finally noticed that he has to express.
Yeah.
I think something with the guys is that oftentimes they think they can just take it for a while. Just, I don't know, sometimes boys think that they can.
Yeah,
take
just do
everything.
whatever the girl wants. Yeah, right.
But then they did not know that they also have to express their emotions. Same thing happened to my partner. I think after a year, he feels like he has to say something, or else I'm just gonna be not like a princess, maybe a queen or a king someday. No, actually it is, because I didn't know that I had a problem. Everyone else knew that Gianne has mental health, and that's why we have to let her be happy. So my parents and my boyfriend at that time, they were just trying to make me happy because they know that I'm suffering from mental health. And it's bad for me because I thought the world really evolves around me. I really thought that I am the center of everything. Whenever I'm with my family and with my boyfriend, my personality is worse. They would say, how can you talk to us like this? We're someone that you love. But because I know how much they're tolerating my mental health, I didn't know how to handle with myself either. Slowly, I realized that whatever people around me are doing to help me, they can't help me at all. Even they're trying to make my days happy, they're simply trying to tolerate with my temper. The only one that can help me is really me. If I don't shift or change or whatever, everyone around me will just be, I don't know, like sad because I am sad, because I'm not happy, and that's why they're trying to make me happy, but at the same time I'm not happy because of them. Because internally I'm not happy because I have to fix things inside. So yeah, it took me years to actually realize that I'm doing harm to people that love me. I have to deal with this immediately. Urgency to deal with my mental health.
I'm actually so glad you brought up this perspective of mental health, because I feel like for me, I think how I felt in my journey was that I would say things and hurt people without knowing, and then I would feel so guilty because I hurt them, and it would be even harder for me to change my behaviors because I would sit in that guilt and the sadness that I brought them, and I feel like this is not something that people normally talk about. It's no, just like, oh, I'm sad, my emotions, but no, it's also other people's emotions, especially for the ones that you love.
Yeah, I feel like I did go through different parts of, sadness. So the first layer would actually be like depression layer of sadness. I'm not happy. I'm not motivated to do anything. I think slowly it became to a sadness towards myself. It was actually some kind of like self-hate or anger. I was angry at myself because I couldn't control my emotions. And then I hurt people around me, and there's even more guilt and more hatred towards that, because now I'm not only hurting myself, I'm hurting people that I love, and then now the people that I love are hating me because I'm hurting them. So it's a loop, and I have been through that stage of where I actually wanted to commit suicide as well, because I feel like, okay, this world is meaningless, and it's a meaningless life, and I'm hurting people. So I would be doing them good if I'm gone. I actually had that thought. Like, that this world would be happier if I'm gone. It's crazy. It's very dark. But at the same time, I feel like I'm so glad that at that time when I had that dark thought, I thought about, okay, but if I'm really gone, will my mom and my dad be okay? And then I just hold that thought back, and I'm like, okay, maybe they won't be happy when I'm gone, but at least I will be happy when I'm gone. But then when I think about how my mom and dad would react on the fact that, oh, your daughter is gone, she killed herself, how would they live their life?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then I just hold that thought, and then I just went through another day. And at a point where I know that I no longer want to live a life like this, I wanted to, I don't know, maybe change a part of how I see things. And then I started seeing therapists, I started talking to people that I think would help me. And I did not find any medication for my mental health journey. So basically, throughout the 10, 12 years, I think I've been finding different ways to help me feel better. That's my goal. I would be thinking, oh, if seeing this healer or practitioner would help me feel better, then I'll just go do it. Before, when I look into, ways to help my mental health, it's always I wanted to look for a solution rather than just a remedy. I would want to go see that one person, and if you can help me, then this is it. But now I knew that healing is a journey. It's something that you go through, not just a one-time thing or not just a destination. It's something that you have to experience. So far, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like healing journey is actually quite fun. Like, you get to know so much about yourself and to really, like, dig deep and, like, I mean, the work is hard itself.
It is.
But, like, you definitely see the result. And, I mean, just sitting with you right now, you radiate, like, joy, and the energy is just so bright and light. And I feel like I personally, I cannot visualize the person that you were before, because like you're obviously doing like so much in your career and your personal life, and you just come like such a long way.
Yeah. When I look back, I also don't recognize who that Gianne was. And I always tell this to my friend. I was like, oh, so lucky you met me in this period of my life, because if, let's say, you met me in my uni day or when I was in high school, you would definitely not want to be friends with me. I would be either gloomy Gianne or emotional me, or I would be blocking people. I would just hide myself somewhere. I would always not be genuinely me, because I thought if I become genuine, people won't like me for me. I don't know. I'm really glad that I have shifted the mindset and really changed. When people see that you've really changed, they really actually wanted to come forward and ask you how you do it. So that's basically what keeps me motivated into sharing more on how you can see things in a positive way. Sometimes I feel like, oh, will I be annoying, my audience online? Will I be oversharing too much? But to see, people keep coming forward and telling you that you've been doing great. And same thing, I always send positivity to my friends whenever people post stuff. I don't know if you see, but I like your stuff a lot. I was like heart, love.
Yeah, you do actually.
Yeah, I do. Because I feel like, these are like joy and love that I can do with just 1 second. Why not?
Yeah.
Make people happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything that you've been through, like, led you to this moment, basically. Like, Calmed & Co., obviously, it's
Yeah.
directly linked to your own healing journey. And I feel like now your work with NGOs, it's just, like, you experience all this, and now you're helping so many people to help them through what they are going through. It's just priceless.
To me, it's like everything makes sense now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like every second in life, like it's leading to something, I feel. And even though it doesn't make sense, I mean, like, I don't even remember how I met you. And yeah, we only met once prior to this in real life, and led to this. And then we're going to Thailand together next week.
We're going to a retreat together.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
right?
It's crazy. And I'm actually so happy you brought this retreat up because it had been on my mind for a week. I just knew that I'm going to this retreat last week when you texted me.
Yeah.
For this specific retreat, I have been thinking about going on a retreat for so long.
Wow.
Because of, moving to new houses for the cats, and then the cats giving birth, and then this and that going on my life. I feel like I couldn't live. But then when this opportunity came up, and then I brought it to my boyfriend, and he was like, when you see an opportunity, you have to grab it. And I was telling him, I want to grab it, but I have my newborn kittens. They're just 2 days old. Are you sure you can handle them? I asked my boyfriend, and he's like, just grab the opportunity and go. I was like, okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm so happy because of our connection. We made this happen. And I kind of like, did I low-key manifest this in my life? I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely, because even when I was thinking, literally yesterday, I was thinking about the retreat that I'm hosting, and it literally just started from like I was having like matcha with Jeanette, so the girl who I'm hosting my retreat with, and literally it's just like an idea. Back then, I was still at my day job, and I remember telling my friend right after that matcha meeting, I was like, if I can make something happen in June, I'm gonna quit my job before this, and I'm gonna leave Hong Kong. Like I told her this, and it was not even anything concrete. It was literally just like a conversation, and we're like, oh, should we do something outside of Hong Kong? Like, oh, should we start like reaching out to venues and like people that we can like do a retreat with? And then literally it happened, and I quit my job, so my last day can be like right before the retreat. I mean, obviously manifestation, but also the manifestation, the thought that leads to your action, right?
And you did it.
Yeah, I know.
And it's happening.
And you too.
It's happening next week.
Yeah, so I feel like this is such a powerful episode. Like just sharing so much and like really seeing the journey of how like you as literally a role model.
When I see you, I think because you just mentioned how we met, and I think we are always like online friends. And I remember the first time I see your profile, I'm like, oh, we're doing so much in common. Like things that we're doing are quite similar, I would say. You have your own podcast channel. I have my own podcast channel. And you have your events company and my marketing company, and you're working for media, and same vice versa. We are both like content creators, and funny fact is that you love blue, I love pink, and it's like
really funny.
it's really funny. It's like seeing, I don't know, an online social media twin, something like that. And then we connect in real life, and we actually really connect. Yeah, so it's quite a journey for me because I don't normally just, randomly text online people and meet them, but sometimes you meet them in real life. But still you don't connect even though you know them. Just, I don't know, coincidence or universe is bringing us together, meeting. It feels good because I always love meeting new people, but at the same time I love meeting people that genuinely we can connect. And we're around the same age, we love things, and we have passions in a very similar path, I would say. So when I see you, growing, glowing, I was like, you go girl, because I see a reflection. When I see good happening in people, I know that, okay, good things are happening on my way as well. So just keep celebrating path of people around you, because I know that for sure you see success in people because you see success in life. Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, because a lot of people on my podcast have shared as a tip, like, find your tribe, find your people, find your support system, and that will help you grow.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you guys, like, I think this is real life, like, supporting each other. Yeah, like, that's literally one of the, like, the top 3 tips that people will share, like, key to success. And it's just so crucial. And even I feel like you see online that resonates with you, like, don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes that's when, like, the best connections happen. Like, it's just like one, like, liking a photo, hearting something, and like one DM, and then it just happens.
Yeah, you really just happened. No, yeah, when you mentioned that, I also think that a good tip is that before I would always be frightened or afraid to reach out to people that seem to be, you know, I don't know, a celebrity or a star. My boyfriend were just trying to, you know, remind me, you know, everyone is a human being. You don't have to see them as someone else, even though their life may be different from yours. They're just human, so just go for it. And that's the best tip I've heard, because now I really see a lot of different people. I know you do for sure see a lot of different celebs or important people in a day, and you might be frightened because you know who they are and they don't know who you are. But then now I would feel like, oh, it's exciting because I know who they are and they don't know who I am, and I can go and introduce myself to them. Yeah. And
then they will know.
Yeah, and then they will know me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's happy because before I really don't have that mindset where I see the possibility of who I can become. And now I'm slowly becoming the person that I wanted to become maybe years back then. And now I see, okay, if I'm seeing myself like 30 years old Gianne, who would she become? 40-year-old me? I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah.
So it's exciting because when I was younger, I was quite looking forward to seeing myself growing up. But then throughout that 10 years, I would say I basically don't remember who I was. It was like a blackout memory, that 10 years. Very blurry. I really don't quite remember how I went through those period of days. But now I'm slowly like picking up the path, the passions that I used to have, singing, dancing, drama, and of course finding my tribe.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing this quite often these days, because back then when I was in uni or in high school, I can't find any connections, or I can't find any tribe that I feel like I belong. And now slowly starting my community or the company or business, and then meeting new people, I feel like I can really find my tribe now.
Like, you are basically like manifested everything that you want.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm really so happy. So I'm hoping that this episode, when the audience are listening to this conversation, can really try to learn, find ways to make yourself happy. Just try to shift your mindset into a more positive way, into a happy way. And of course, you need to fix all those little traumas or all the little insecurities, fears that you may have. And those are hard work for sure. Now that I'm looking back of all the hard work that I've done, I would say it's really worth it. It's really worth a try. Just try to make yourself happy day by day. And slowly you will know, like, there must be like a routine of how to make yourself happy.
I mean, I feel like just listening to your sharing, one of my biggest takeaway is to see the possibilities. Because, like, for a while, like, you couldn't see the possibilities, right?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, and when your mindset shifted, now you're looking into, like, oh, like, 30-year-old, 40-year-old Gianne, like, what would she do? And you are making, like, possibilities happen every single day and turning dreams into realities. I mean, like, just by literally, like, all the businesses that you're creating and all the people that you work with. Yeah, so it's just so inspiring to see transformation happen in reality.
Well, I would say these would never happen if I hadn't fixed my emotions.
For sure.
So yeah, I really hope that there are some takeaways for the audience for this episode.
Oh, wow, thank you so much for sharing today. I feel like we covered so much, and to end, we like to end on a positive note. Can you share one thing that you love about yourself to us?
So I do love my energy a lot, because I hear this a lot when people meet me. They're like, "Oh, Gianne, you're really bubbly and what you do really inspires me. So whenever I hear people say that, I know that, okay, I do radiate a good energy and I love it. Because to me, if I can make one person happy, it would already make my day. Because if I have the power to affect one's life for just maybe a few hours or a day, to me, it's very powerful. Yeah. Because I've been a sad, gloomy person for years, and I know the feeling of happiness. I know how happy can feel. But when I was sad, I just couldn't see happy in anywhere. So I was like, if I could make someone happy, it's just so meaningful already. In Hong Kong, people are so stressed. So
They are, yeah.
we just really need more happy people to
do.
be spreading positivity around.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing with us today. Can you share with us your social media handles or your company websites, anything that people can find you on?
Yes, so if you have anything, any questions, or you just want to talk to me personally, you can reach me on Guanne. So it's called Guan, but my name is Gianne.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. We'll talk to you guys soon and contact Gianne for any questions that you have, and check out her content. It is freaking amazing, and her podcast as well.
It's in Cantonese. It's
Right.
called Calmed Podcast.
Calm podcast. Right. Everything will be here. Okay. Bye.